Michel Pereira against Andre. You say his last name because I'm going to butcher it. Fight.
No, because what if I say it wrong and then all Portuguese people will be like, taking away your passport and then I get deported again. No.
Say it.
Fialho? I think. Oh, it's probably not.
Oh. Leave in the comments below if Veronica's pronunciation of this is wrong. Okay, Andre. Fialho. That sounds about right.
Let's just say Andre, just in case I'm saying it wrong.
Fialho. Anyway, 14-3. Yeah. Has got some wins on his record already. He's coming off a first-round stoppage over Stefan Sekulic, who's very, very good. He stopped James Vick with a knockout, beat the hell out of him up against the fence, dropped him a couple of times. The closing shot for me, though, although it wasn't the last shot he landed, was a nasty dig to the body, and you just saw James Vick just go, ugh. And then he started cracking him in the head again, and the referee stepped in and saved him. This guy's good. This guy, I think he's very good. He's on a 4-fight win streak. He's picked up a couple of losses, but obviously, you know, we learn from those things. Chidi Njokwani is not an embarrassing loss to have on your record. That was in Bellator. He's lost to Chris Curtis in the PFL, and he's lost to Antonio Dos Santos Jr. in LFA. But the wins that he's got in his last 4 fights have really set the tone, in my opinion. And although Michel Pereira is a lot of fun to watch, I think he has a tendency to do silly things.
Yeah, he does look like in pretty great shape, though. They put a picture with him and like
Who, Pereira?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he's shredded. He looks like he's been carved out of mahogany. And he doesn't look like he's 28 either. Anyway, look, we're digressing here. We're digressing. Okay. He's on a 3-fight win streak. Imadaev, that was a rear naked choke in the 3rd round. Chaos Williams and Nico Price, both by unanimous decision. So if you think about how he came into the UFC, he came in like the human version of Tigger off Winnie the Pooh. And he's bouncing around like a motherfucker doing backflips and nearly knocking out ring girls on the stage at the weigh-ins. He came in against Danny Roberts in his UFC debut and stung him with that wicked flying knee, which was really nice. And that further reinforced the idea of doing capoeira all the way to the cage. So then when he came in his next fight against Tristan Connolly, which was the weirdest, it was the weirdest situation because I was there for that. I was working the desk with Karen and Tyron Woodley, funnily enough, who didn't watch any of the fights and played on his phone the whole time. So I'm standing on the desk, like watching these fights, and Tristan Connolly had come in on short notice and taken this fight. Pereira was supposed to be fighting Sergey Khandoshko. That fight was cancelled. So they brought in this Tristan Connolly, who was a late notice replacement, who was like 4 inches shorter. He looked like he'd been like building walls like earlier that day. You know what I mean? He just didn't look like he fitted in the place. You know, he's like 36, 5'10", 68-inch reach. He's a bit of a, come on, let's fucking have it. And Michel Pereira was bouncing off one side of the fence to the next and ran out of gas. And the whole arena, there was this like surge, and everyone was like, "Oh shit, this guy's gonna beat him. This guy's not supposed to win is gonna win." And it was the weirdest but coolest moment because like at the end of the fight, if I remember right, Michel Pereira was on the floor and Tristan Connolly was just ground and pounding. And the crowd were going, "Yeah," like fucking cheering him on. I mean, he's not had a good win in his last fight, but anyway, we digress. I like Pereira, and I think when he's calm, I think he's got the athleticism and the skills to be a real problem. But I just don't know how long he can keep a lid on it for. And coming off 2 unanimous decisions, I feel like that's going to bug him because he wants those spectacular flying knee finishes. What do you reckon?
Especially in a pay-per-view.
Of course.
Where there's lots of camera. First fight on the main card.
First fight on the main card, sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. But Andre looks good. There's no doubt about it. He looks good. He's got good hands. He's got good power. He's trained out of Sanford MMA. Who's your pick? I've just talked over you the whole time, though. Who's your pick? What do you notes say?
I talked over you than the last one because I got really excited.
What do your notes say?
My notes say Pereira.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
Yeah.
By capoeira.
By capoeira, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all for capoeira. I love capoeira.
I know you are.
Ding ding.
I did capoeira for like a day. I landed on the back of my head and never went back. I loved it. What I remembered of it, it's like my nunchaku training. Okay, what do you reckon then?
You just asked me.
Are you going for Pereira? Is that all you're giving me by capoeira?
Well, no, you said
give me a
capoeira.
round, then.
You like...
Okay, give me a round by capoeira in which round?
No, I'm going to go for my
fucking
countryman. That I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm horrible.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
good patriotism, right?
Yeah, beautiful patriot. I'm going to go with him as well.
Yeah.
Because his last couple of fights, his last 4 fights in particular, especially that knockout over James Vick, I think he's just got the discipline to just stay calm and just deflect anything wild that Pereira's throwing at him. He'll deflect the capoeira and he'll nail him with some basic nice boxing skills.
Just looks very focused in himself. And I think he's in a similar situation to where, like, for example, Ilia Topuria is with, like, representing his country, or Michael Morales is like that, those same representation. And I have a big responsibility and I'm going to take this very seriously because this means a lot more than just myself. I think he has that. For example, for Portugal, I think there's only one other fighter that's from Portugal.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
And myself.